In 2008, the first DSLR video camera was released. Nowadays, it is very common that a lot of people can shoot videos with a good quality and make their own stories. Reverie. This is how Vincent Laforet called his video created with Canon 5D Mark II in 2008. Canon lent him some material to experiment and he shot the film just in a weekend. This was the first video shot in Full HD with a DSLR camera. It had more than 2 million views just in a week and has become the most seen video in the history shot in DSLR camera. However, the Nikon D90 was the first DSLR video camera, released in 2008. It would record 720p quality. Although Panasonic GH1 was the first ever to do 1080p 24 frames per second quality.
I was really interested when DSLRs were announced, when people were going to make DSLR cameras that shot video. As a Canon person, as someone that's always had Canon cameras, I played with the Nikon, but it just didn't feel right. So then when the first Canon that shot video came out, the 5D Mark II, it was amazing. It was just, I had one ordered before it was even released. I knew that I wanted it and I was just excited for it to come out.
The high acceptance and demand of DSLR in the society are causing that year after year, new settings for the camera's video improvement are being incorporated. Nikon D5000 was the pioneer in vari-angle LCD. Magic Lantern, a firmware for Canon DSLR cameras to assist videographers. Canon EOS 1DC was the first DSLR camera with 4K. Canon EOS 650D innovated in touchscreen. Nikon D5300 was the pioneer camera to have Wi-Fi connection. The running of DSLR cameras is a bit different when they are taking a photo or recording a video. The essential difference is that the mirror stays in its up position during video capture, rather than returning to its seated position after each frame is taken. In many audiovisual projects, DSLR video cameras have been used because of their advantages and possibilities, in competition with the professional cinema cameras.
When I shoot a video, it depends for me on where I'm going to output that video. If it's for the web or if it's for commercial videos, for things like that, I tend to use a DSLR as my preferred camera. Maybe if it's something for television, if it's something for the cinema, I may use a different camera. Although I have used DSLR cameras to make television programs and to make cinema movies before as well.
So for small productions, low budget productions, and for us students, they are really great cameras because with low budget they allow us to create pieces of video, short films, video clips, another stock footage, VFX played, almost every TV show. Some of them adopted this kind of cameras as the main camera, but others use them because they are small, not as big as professional cameras. So they use it for almost everything. There are a lot of films, even films like Hobbit have used Canons, Iron Man, Act of Valor is a film that was shot entirely on Canon 5D.
There are different reasons why the DSLR video cameras have succeeded since their beginning. Lightweight and reduced size, becoming the video cameras more comfortable and manageable. Interchangeable lens. This permits to have control over different parameters, such as depth of field, the angle of view, and others. Quality. The DSLR video cameras can film in high definition. Noise reduction. DSLR have a better answer in low light situation. Affordable price. Prices swing between £200 and £10,000.
I think it's very similar to the cinema verite movement back in the 60s when 16mm film came into practice, when people were making movies, when people were making documentaries. And what you find is a democratization, is that anybody can make a film. Anybody can make something really, really interesting, really exciting, and sometimes really powerful and really emotional. And the stories that you get because of it, you probably wouldn't have got if you needed a film crew, if you needed an Alexa, if you needed a 35mm camera. Because this technology is everywhere, you're getting really, really interesting and independent stories instead of stories that broadcasters want you to see.
However, this aspect and the existence of platforms to share videos online, such as YouTube and Vimeo, have caused that there aren't any type of filters at the time of creating and publishing videos content.
I think DSLR filmmaking has affected everybody, from amateurs through to professionals. I've worked on productions that would never have happened before because the budget was too small, but because they used DSLRs, you could make them. I've also worked on feature films and I've worked on network drama that have also used DSLR cameras because they're so small, they're so easy to use, they're so quick. I think it's affected everybody from professionals to amateurs. It's made a huge difference to who can shoot, what you can shoot and where you can shoot it.
The future is complicated because on the last year there has been a lot of competence, a lot of new cameras. Panasonic has been working on new cameras. Sony is releasing new mirrorless cameras with amazing low light capabilities. They still have a market, like people who doesn't need to shoot RAW or 4K, and they just need to have a camera that can take good pictures.
It's really hard to say what the next evolution of cameras will be. Obviously Canon, Nikon and the big camera producers are making new cameras all the time. But it's really interesting in the DSLR market as well for people like Panasonic, people like Fuji, who are also making great cameras to compete with Canon and Nikon, who are the market leaders. I think that there's also another aspect where Canon have seen that people want this kind of camera and have tried to make slightly different versions, like the C300, the C500, the sort of the broadcast version of a DSLR sensor. The same sensor as a 5D, just in a different shape for people that are more used to shooting video. And then you've got other people making cameras coming in the other way, like Blackmagic Design, who bring in their cinema camera, who had the 2K version and now the 4K version, as well as their pocket cinema camera and things like this. So I really like the fact that everyone's realised that it's an accessible market. People want to buy cameras, people want to make films, so if you make a camera that's £2,000, it doesn't matter really who makes it, so long as it's good.